So somebody shared this on my Reddit today. As you can see, Stellar Blade or Nikke Collab hinted in new interview with Yuzong, as well as story improvements for 2025. Now if you guys are not aware, I've been seeing this more and more, that Girls Frontline 2 or Yuzong has been appearing in multiple different medias, including newspaper. Okay? Now I know a lot of you guys love reading newspaper, but newspaper in 2025 might not be a thing anymore. Alright, it might be a relic of the past. The truth is, most people don't really touch newspaper anymore. Most countries don't have newspaper anymore. Newspaper is dying. Alright? But yeah, it is something like a very old stuff. So this is a Chinese newspaper, I believe. They mentioned Girls Frontline 2 right here. But specifically, I want to focus more on Malaysian newspaper. Yeah, this one is apparently a Malaysian newspaper, I think. So let's focus on this particular one. I will go to Girls Frontline 2 official subreddit. So we're gonna try to look at this picture. So when asked about future collabs, Yuzong made a reference to how Stellar Blade moved him and how he is also looking to collab with a shooting game. Could both of these references together actually be a hint towards Nikke Collab? Or two different collabs, one being Stellar Blade and the other one being some sort of shooter. In addition, there's a separate discussion involving the story of Girls Frontline 2 and how Yuzong has resumed the role of the main lead in writing story department. Oh, I didn't know Yuzong himself writes the story. That's interesting, as well as their plans to improve the story in multiple ways. Very interesting. Okay, let's see if you can see this, right? This is clearly a different newspaper or whatever. Is this a newspaper? Looks like a magazine, a Korean magazine, alright? We got some sort of translation right here, alright? Could you share any hints about collaborations you would like to pursue in the future? Okay, so that's the interviewer. I guess Yuzong said, I can't reveal specific plans just yet. I can share that the game Stellar Blade moved me deeply this year. And I'm also positively considering a collaboration with a shooting game. There's a chance. Nikke and Girls Frontline 2. I mean, there's a chance because he specifically said that Stellar Blade inspires him, and he said, I will consider collaborating with a shooting game. I mean, I can see how people connect the dots to Nikke because Stellar Blade and Nikke is by Shift Up, right? The same, you know, the same owners, alright, the same company. So that could be a thing. Now, whether or not that will happen is a different story altogether. Whew, essay. Okay, what is this? Regarding Exilium, after this year of refinement and the improved synergy among the team, will there be specific changes in the arrangement and design of subsequent storyline? For instance, are there directional adjustments such as how it connects and integrates with the IP, including the main series and the bakery? Are there any plans for these aspects? Okay, so for those of you who are not aware, Mica also make other games like Girls Frontline 2 Exilium, Neural Cloud, and they also have this game called Reverse Collapse Bakery. Reverse Collapse Bakery? Or something along those lines. It was on Steam, right? They did sponsor me to play that. I played it for a little bit. That one is not a gacha game. I even like hosted a giveaway for that game back then. So they're trying to see if they can connect all the IPs together in a story aspect. I'm not sure if they will do that. Yes, we can talk about this briefly. First of all, in 2024, I wasn't entirely satisfied with the overall content delivery. There are many areas I want to improve, so we'll focus on completing these parts as quickly as possible based on the existing plan. So right now, obviously, he should be focusing on synchronizing the global and CN server before he can do all of this because it's quite a lot of things, right, for him to manage. For 2025, we have a highly ambitious year-long plan. Whether it's major events or side activities, they will be more closely aligned with the main storyline. Telling an ambitious story, I'll personally return to lead the overall direction of the story, working in close collaboration with the restructured writing team. I aim to pass on my experience to the creative writing team so they can craft next year's story in a way that better aligns with the tone of Girls Frontline. On this foundation, since the main storyline's content delivery will exceed this year's, it will be accompanied by event planning from the design team, leaning towards aligning with the stories, themes, and injecting more depth into the content. Yeah, I think that's as interesting as it gets, right? Very interesting interview. Yeah, I think overall it is a pretty good summary of what they plan to do somewhat is more towards the story, and also at the same time, if they are going to do a collab, I'm kind of curious, right? Because Girls Frontline 2 collaboration might not be easy because like the characters are fully 3D model. Because in Neural Cloud, they did quite a number of collabs, right? Neural Cloud, they managed to collab, as far as I know, to 2 or 3 different separate IPs. But yeah, Girls Frontline 2 might be a totally different beast altogether. So if they want to collab, it has to be something that they need to plan out accordingly, right? Yuzong seems to have to step in every time the writing starts to flop, and when he does, it gets better. Okay, that's a good thing. That means he knows what he's doing. One of the writers actually got fired after admitting to purposefully mocking CK not connecting to Girls Frontline 2 due to the hatred of the Girls Frontline 2 writing team. Mainly how GFL2 isn't GFL and other petty jazz. Hoko actually addressed it. There was slightly malicious intent. Okay, let me see, what is this? Drama within the company. Regarding CK, since there is a case of Girls Frontline 1 team being malicious, and how the ending are intentionally not connected to Girls Frontline 2 to spite the Girls Frontline 2 team, are we going to get a CK rewrite? Numerous companies or games F themselves up when they jump to 2nd generation from 1st gen. Outing of such difficulty is not the most and least serious one we have to overcome. I guess drama within company is something that happens, right? Especially when you have one team working on the first original series, another team working on the successor. Now, will there be rivalry within the company? Absolutely there is. There has to be, right? So, does the Girls Frontline 2 team hate the Girls Frontline 1 team? Or vice versa? I'm sure every company to a certain extent have a little bit of some sort of this factor going on, right? But yeah, this is not really surprising. But at the same time, if somebody is fired because of that, that's kind of interesting actually, right? It is like kind of a drama that happens within there. Yeah, the thing about story is like it's very complicated, right? The moment like one person is writing it, when you switch writers, sometimes it also the vision might change a little bit as well. I think that's what happens with Snowbreak story with the recent event of the whatever character that they had last time, right? It caused like controversial because the main writer admitted that he wasn't there. He was like trying to work on a different story upcoming in the anniversary, blah blah blah. So it does lead to this kind of issue. So it is going to be very complicated, right? It's like, I think like writing this story, if you constantly change the story writer, it is going to change the narrative of the story. And when I see companies do that, I noticed Blue Archive that happens recently. It happens with Brown Dust 2 as well, but we haven't seen the effects of it yet. I hope the story don't go down from there, right? Because when the story, because you're not going to share the same vision, and it's ideally when it comes to story, the characters, the lore and everything, like how it's connected, it's always going to be very complicated, and you can't just pass that on to another person. I don't think it's as simple as that. Now, if you care about story, that is, right? If you don't care about the story, you're just there for the waifus, sure, right? Just play and enjoy the good characters. But other than that, collab with Nikke would be great. I play both games. They both have great stories and synergy. There was even a Nikke minigame in Girls Frontline 2 recently. I heard that Yuzong is friends with Shift Up CEO. That is a plus as well. Let's go! Okay, Kim Hyung-tae and Yuzong are friends. Okay, I would love to see that as well. Nikke with Girls Frontline 2 collab, if that will ever happen, yeah, I'll be excited for that.